This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Dr. Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Jessica Luther from Alpena County Library. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning, Nancy.
How are things at the library? I know you've been really busy with the asbestos abatement there. How's that all coming along?
We actually just finished round 2 of the asbestos abatement, so we're seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Special collections should be moved back to their regular area probably around the middle of March. We're hoping to kind of move things around a little bit, get things kind of back to normal there. We really appreciate how patient everyone has been. All the patrons have been extremely patient, and local organizations that have been wanting to use our conference room spaces, but right now they're being used by staff members who've been temporarily relocated. So we're kind of getting towards the end of that, and it's so with it being a new year, we're working on getting our programming schedule going and our classes going, so we do appreciate how patient everyone's been.
And you know, January is normally a little bit slower. I know that you have the people coming in doing the taxes and the tax forms, so usually it's a little bit slower, so hopefully before things get rocking and rolling, you'll have it all back together.
That's what our hope is, yes. But speaking of getting rocking and rolling, we do have registration open for the computer classes now.
Oh, good.
Nancy is keeping a regular schedule, so information about those, as usual, can be found on our website or by calling the library. And those are $5 each class, which really is a screaming deal.
It is, and you know, they're so wonderful for people who've either have a little bit of experience or have no experience, and it's just, I've taken them before and I've learned so much.
Yeah, she's really good working with people of every level of advancement in computers. And you know, Nancy's just such a great asset for the library. She does our computer classes, but then she also does a lot of our makerspace and maker lab programming. You know, she has her Tinker Tuesdays every other Tuesday from 3 to 5:30, which is such a wonderful drop-in workshop for people who want to just come in and play around with all the different doodads and gadgets she has. And the first of those starts on January 16th. So those are free, and anyone ages 5 and up just could pop in from 3 to 5:30.
So if you got some kind of a device for Christmas that you don't understand how to use, Nancy can help you.
Nancy can help you with so many things. She has her drop-in tech hours. She has all sorts of fun stuff. She's got a 3D printing class that's coming up on Monday, January 22nd at 6:30. That does require a little bit of basic computer knowledge, but that's, you know, you can register to do that, learn how to do Tinkercad and how to design your own things on the 3D printer.
Wow.
And that's just a really cool thing that we offer for free for Alpena residents. It's
wonderful.
It's really good. She's just, I mean, I can't say enough great things about what Nancy does there. And we've got, for our younger set, our story hours and preschool play dates and the Tiny Tots. Those are starting up soon. Mary's been busy planning a lot of different children's activities this year. We've got, this year is the American Girl Breakfast. You know, we do that every other year. She's got a Pete the Cat event coming up, a Peppa Pig. I mean, she's getting the calendar rolled out, and we're really excited for some of the newer stuff that we're going to be offering this year.
Good.
And then something we are doing that we're working with the Thunder Bay Arts Council, we have storyteller Judy Sema coming on February 5th. She's going to be starting her day out at the Thunder Bay Junior High, presenting to the 7th and 8th graders there. It's called Escape to Freedom, and it's about her mother's tale of escaping during the Holocaust in Germany. So she's going to be doing that during the day, and then in the evening she's coming to the library at 6:30 on February 5th, and she's doing a more adult-oriented program called My Mother's Voice. So she'll be talking about the journey, her mother's encounter with the Gestapo,
I already have goosebumps.
what her experiences during Kristallnacht, and she'll be then helping people facilitate how to tell their own stories. It's going to be a really cool night at the library.
And the date for that again is?
That is February 5th at 6:30.
Okay.
And we are able to present these programs through grants from the Women's Giving Circle at the Community Foundation for Northeast Michigan, and the Michigan Humanities Council, and the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs. So we're very excited to be able to partner with the Thunder Bay Arts Council to do all this joint programming. So we've just got, and we have tax prep, as you mentioned. The tax preparation will be starting up soon. I know they're going to be beginning their training on January 18th. So after that, they'll be announcing their dates of when they'll be at the library. The other big thing we have going on is the Great Michigan Read. So we are participating in that with a YA novel about Malcolm X, and copies are available for those who are interested in starting to read the book. We'll be announcing the programs for those shortly. And we've just got a lot of stuff lined up, a lot of NASA at My Library will be back this year. We've got, we have the programs for Engineering Week, Teen Tech Week, March is Reading Month. We're working on programs for Star Wars Day. We're super excited.
And you have one of the best websites around, so how do we access the website?
So it's alpenalibrary.org. You can go on, you can find our event calendar, you can access our genealogy databases, you can access the Foundation Center.
Wonderful.
There are just so many different things you can do from the comfort of your own chair at home, or you can come into the library where someone can help you find all these resources.
Okay, well, congratulations on being in Phase 2. So glad to hear that, and I'm just so glad that you folks have jumped on that and that the library is a safe place for everyone to be. And Happy New Year to everyone, and look forward to talking to you next month.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you. I'll be right back with Chris Witulski from Besser Museum following these messages. Hi, welcome back. I'm with Chris Witulski from Besser Museum. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Nancy.
I know, like the library, we said things were a little bit slower, but wow, you folks are not slow.
Yeah. You know, even listening to Jessica saying slow and all the things that are going on at the library are exciting, and the Besser Museum is the same way. I always say to tell people, even though there's not cars in the parking lot that day, it doesn't mean we're not busy.
Oh, yes.
Because we're taking down exhibits, putting up new exhibits. We got Christmas all put away. It was a great season. Lots of people loved the exhibits and the private parties that we hosted. And so now we're into January, and we are doing the winter blue theme.
Yes.
I brought our brochure, which we're encouraging people to create this winter. Let the winter blues be your muse.
Yes.
And so this is a special exhibit opened to Michigan artists, non-juried, and the requirements are that it has to be within 2x2 dimensions, and it has to be 60% blue hues. So you still have time to work on it. I'm still working on my piece that I brought to show you.
Show me the piece right now while we're talking about it.
So the entries are going to be January 22nd through the 29th.
And hold it for a little bit there.
So
just
this is the piece that I've been working on. And this will be my second time that I'm entering exhibit. And it's a work in progress, which I'm encouraging people that if I can do it, you can do it.
Did you take the photograph?
I took the photograph. I was in Leland, Fishtown for a conference. I went down to the beach, had a couple hours, and found the Leland Bluestones.
Oh, wow.
And so when we picked this theme for Winter Blues, I thought, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Although it's taken me a long time to kind of work on it and put it out, and I love it. And I guess that's what's important. And what's exciting is I was reading about blue because you know, people do get seasonal depression.
Yes.
And blue is kind of associated with kind of a depressing color, but it really isn't.
Well,
I did a little bit of study. You're going to love it because I'm in blue and you're in blue today. And actually, the positive aspects of blue is that it is a color associated with intelligence. It has been proven that different shades of blue can improve your concentration, stimulate thinking, and provide mental clarity. And it's linked with calm and serenity, and it will lower your heart rate. So all these positive things about working with the color blue. So how fitting at this time of year that we're encouraging people to create some art, use a color that's actually going to be healthy for you. And also I think being involved in the community, being involved in something also helps to kind of beat the winter blues and those depressing moods.
And
so
having seen the last exhibit of the 2x2s, it was amazing. Yeah. I couldn't believe the different mediums, what people found stuff on the beach and made pictures with, the photography, the art, the drawing, you know, stacking things on top of each other. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Yes, and it's open to all Michigan artists.
Okay.
And again, the entry fee is $20 an entry fee.
Okay.
And you can enter up to 5 pieces for a total of $100. And the delivery date is January 22nd through January 29th.
Okay.
And so then we will open the art exhibit on February 13th with a blue theme reception. We have Chris Crown which is well known for blues music, and Lee Kitzman are going to be there playing the music. Yeah, we'll have music, and then our Founders Society will do the reception, and they'll put a couple blue-themed food items on the buffet.
Yay!
And then all the wonderful art and just the camaraderie of coming out and sharing and talking to people about the art. So.
And like I said, if someone hasn't been there before, they really need to go see it because it's amazing what people come up with. Just
Yes.
amazing.
It is. And then you will be able to tour the rest of the museum. I know we're working on another art exhibit that will be new and opened in the Wilson Gallery. And then we also are installing today an exhibit that has not been up, I believe, since 1983. Wow. And Ann Tabor and Robert Haltiner did the Alpena, history of Alpena, in his book, The Town That Wouldn't Die, kind of was a byproduct of that exhibit.
Yes.
And so we're bringing that out and putting it up. And
Terrific.
I know my front receptionist people say people are asking all the time when they come in, you know, how did Alpena start? What were their main industries? What's, you know, the story? And so just bringing that exhibit back out for the first time in a
yes.
long time is going to be really nice.
And we have about 2 minutes left.
The planetarium.
Yes.
The planetarium has been going well. Tad does a wonderful
He
job.
does.
And what's so great is I brought the schedule with me. It's online at our Besser Museum website,
Okay.
bessermuseum.org. And he has a different show. So Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, a 1 p.m. show, a 2 p.m. show. And then on Saturdays, there are 5 different shows, all
okay.
different. But what's really neat is we started a new concept, our littlest learners, targeted at the pre-K through 2nd grade for 12 o'clock. And
Perfect.
so we have parents that have been asking, what is there to do for young kids? And so they're looking for more things. One parent actually told me they go out of town to try to find things. So targeting our littlest learners in the planetarium at 12 o'clock is going to be a fun new adventure that we're doing. And then Sundays, we have planetarium shows on Sundays. So we just started that too last month. First time in many, many years, the museum has been offering Sunday shows.
Wow.
So very exciting.
And I encourage people they haven't been there to see a show to go because it's just unbelievable.
I'm so glad you were able to take
Yes.
in the planetarium show and our Christmas.
Yes, it was wonderful. And we have about 1 minute left, so what is your website?
www.bessermuseum.org. They can follow us on our website, go on our Facebook page,
Okay.
or call the Besser Museum at 356-2202. We're open 7 days a week.
And we only had a chance to talk about very few things that are going on and happening there, the store and all the exhibits. And so please, I was amazed at how many people haven't been there when I come for activities. It's the first time I've been here. I go to the Detroit Metropolitan Museum more often than I come to Alpena, and she said, this is just as good, and it's way more affordable. So.
Yeah. And the doors are always open, and we're welcoming people from all over the state, but still looking for the people that live right here to
Yes.
take advantage of your Besser Museum. Come learn about your history and the art that's up on the walls, and then we have science. You really definitely want to take advantage of the planetarium show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Mark Jacobs, ACC men's basketball coach. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, I've been hearing around the college it's just this wonderful game you guys had against Macomb last weekend, and it was inspiring.
Well, thank you very much. It was actually a good second half. First half, we started out well, and then we got in a lull. And second half, we started playing some good team basketball and started taking some charges, playing some really good defense, which we need to do 40 minutes a game. But it was a fun game. I'm not a big moral victory guy. I mean, I would like to have, obviously, the win.
Sure.
I hate to lose. But again, it was a great step forward for the program.
Yeah, and you went to overtime against one of the top teams in the conference, lost in overtime, but played well and hard.
Played well, shot extremely well. We should not lose if we shoot that well. Again, all week this week, all we've done is work on defense, transition defense, posting up, blocking out. But defense is going to be the key for us to win some games. And it's a tough league. Macomb won the championship last year, but after 3 games, there's only one undefeated team in the league, so they're going to come at you.
It's a tough league, isn't it?
It's a very tough league, very good athletes, but a fun league.
Yeah.
And if we can be competitive, and I really truly believe we've turned the corner. You know, it used to be, you know, in October we take one step forward, one step back, sometimes 2 steps back. Now we're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Once we take that 3 steps forward and maybe 1 step back, you know, it's a process. We're going to be a very good team, very good team. And when we play unselfish basketball, we do a lot of the San Antonio offense, and that one extra pass makes all the difference in the world.
Very much, very true. You know, I think people who watch hoop would be impressed at how physical, how fast, and how high caliber the players in the league are. You can't just throw a group of guys together and expect to compete.
Exactly. You know, and somebody had told me this last year, you know, it's a sophomore league. The best players in this league are sophomores. I've got 3 sophomores out of my 10 players right now. And what we're doing is we're getting great experience for my freshmen, because there's not a lot of freshmen are playing as much as my freshmen. So again, it's a double-edged sword, where, you know, it may not be right now, but again, we're getting great experience. And my sophomores have stepped up.
They have.
They've really stepped up. You know, they're all 3 of them are averaging at least double of what they averaged last year. But again, you see some ball players out there and you go, wow. And last year they were okay ball players. So it is a sophomore league, but we're making great strides. You know, I believe after Christmas, my freshmen turned into sophomores.
Mm-hmm. What have you found out about your team? I guess 2 questions. What have you found out about your team that pleases you? And what have you learned in this first year as coach in this league?
Well, and I always say, you know, trust the process. And there are days I get frustrated, and thank God I'm married to a great woman who reminds me of that. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, she'll say, you know, cross country 6 years ago wasn't all, you know, hunky-dory. There were some headaches. And so, number one, trust the process. But the thing I'm most pleased about this year's team is how well they play together and how well they like each other. And I tell them, you don't have to like me, but if you're going to be on a winning program, you have to like your teammates, and you have to pull for your teammates. There's not me. It's us. So I'm extremely pleased with that. Every day is a learning experience for me. Every day. It's a process, and I've learned about each individual and what makes them tick, what I can say to certain guys and what I can't say to certain guys. A lot of different backgrounds, but again, we've really come together as one. And, you know, there's not bickering like there was, you know, beginning of October. And they understand what it takes to win. And so just to kind of watch these guys grow and mature, you know, it's most pleasing for me, because again, we're ready to turn a corner.
Sure.
You know, I hate to lose, and I'm not a moral victory guy. But as long as I'm seeing that forward, instead of, you know, I mean, we played against St. Clair, you know, a week ago, and they just came out blazing, and it was like, woo. And then I challenged the, you know, guys. I said, you know, what are you guys made of? And they showed me. Mm-hmm. They showed me, but we have to be more consistent. That's the key.
Well, we got about a minute left. I'm liking what I see out of the team, and the part about them playing together I appreciate, and I think the fans do and the community does as well. We have a nice, in the 45 seconds or so we have left, we have a table coming.
Yes.
Tell the viewers about the table. Through your curveball there.
Through Youth and Recreation, we were able to get a nice Alpena Community College score table instead of tablecloth. So I was able to get a nice grant from Alpena Youth and Rec, and it really will spruce up the gym and again, get the program to the next level.
Yeah.
One of those helpful things.
Absolutely. I've seen one, Alpena Schools recently got one in memory of Dan Jameson, a wonderful guy and a fine athlete. And you're right, it adds a lot of just atmosphere to the gym.
Yep, it sure does. And again, you know, if we're going to take that next step, we got to, you know, dress the part.
You bet. Well, thank you, Coach, and thank you for what you're doing for the players and for Alpena Community College. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
With your host, Nancy Smitham and Dr. Don McMaster. For a list of community events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on our community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.